Start the sub VOD review. This is Mzez. I don't think he's in chat, but it doesn't matter if he's in chat, to be honest with you. Hopefully he doesn't jump off the map or anything like Fyro did. Not that I'm calling anybody out, sorry Fyro. But let's start now because we're gonna run out of time if we don't start soon. So this is a Diamond VOD, McCree, Eichenwalde defense to start. I don't know the date, probably within the past couple weeks. But let's see what happens. Rip Fyro. Never forget. So their comp's actually not bad. They're not running an Ana. They're running a Zenyatta, Junkrat, Zarya. Who's their second healer? I know that they have a second healer. But point being, their comp's actually not bad. They have good anti-air because they have the McCree. They have the Junkrat to spam the choke. They have the Zarya to spam. And then they have the Zenyatta and the Lucio. So this is like a pretty good patch if you're not going to run Ana. It's not bad. Pretty standard stuff, I would say. So you don't, so like, let's start off the bat. You don't really want to ever come super close to the choke at all. I mean, this is fine because you have a Reinhardt in front of you. But most of the time, I would say like you want to be like a little bit farther back just in case, because you don't want to be able to take spam or like get headshot or, I mean, this positioning is good. I'm not trying to like overanalyze it, but stay out of range of Roadhog hooks. Check out their comp. I probably would have hit tab by now. I used to make a joke in closed beta 2 that the tab key was the most broken thing in the world, because I used to hate, like, after coming from TF2 where you can't tell what heroes people are on, it got to me very fast that it made me mad, right? Because I played Dota, and in Dota, if you're playing, it shows you like all of your heroes on the screen, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it shows like the other 6. And in this game, you get all of that information when you hit tab, but you don't get that information when you're playing. So just by hitting tab, you like get everything that you should know, but you have to be hitting tab, which is what annoys me, because I feel like they should, like, I feel like this should be part of the UI by default. I don't actually like I didn't like the fact in closed beta either that like you could see the enemy hero's composition, because I thought that was a cool part about TF2, is that like if they ran a spy, you didn't know that they had a spy. Like someone had to scout, and it made scouting a little bit harder. But like right now you should be scouting. Like you should be thinking about what heroes they're on, what you have to think. Like as soon as the game starts, try to figure out what you have to do and what your goals are. You don't really know what they have. This is just like a broad term. It's not something that like even masters players won't do this, but you should be doing it and like make a habit of it to hold down the tab key at the beginning of the game before like when this fight's going off, because you're not even sure what's really there, to be honest. Your aim's good though. You should just be spamming fan the hammer, I would say. Whenever you see Reinhardt shield, just constantly fan. There's no reason not to. But you still haven't hit tab, so like that Tracer, I mean, you might have heard her, but you want to know that she's there. Turn sounds on, sorry, I forgot that they were off. Keep spamming. Always stay behind the Reinhardt. This is really aggressive. I don't agree with it. Like, you could have easily died there. Don't like... Here's just a general tip, I guess. If you're playing defense, just don't die, you know? Like, you don't have to kill them. You don't have to, like, slam them. You just have to be alive. Like, it's just, like, a general rule, is that you don't need to go in and... You don't need to be aggressively killing them, especially on the first point of a map. Like, don't overextend. I mean, I'm going to say this about Eichenwalde, but this is any map. If you have this choke here, it's like perfect choke, and like I guess you have this little thing right here to watch. Don't come past this, like don't go in there, you know? This is like a death trap. Like you want to abuse this for them. Like this is their death trap. Like they should be afraid to come here, not like you go in there anyway, you know? So like from a positioning standpoint, you don't really ever want to cross this line, especially if you don't really have a good understanding of where your Reinhardt's going to be. Like you actually should be dead, I would say. Like most of the time you should, like right here I think you actually should have died, but you didn't. Or he didn't rather. I don't even think he's in chat, so I'm going to keep saying you, but I'm talking to him. But since the Reinhardt's here, you don't want to be in front of him, and you especially, like, you already baited out the rewind from the Tracer, so that Tracer's not even a threat. for another 10 seconds. Like, Tracer without rewind isn't really that scary as any hero. Like, you can kill a Tracer without rewind most of the time, especially as McCree. So don't worry about rolling in to get that kill. Like, like, you could have potentially died and your team is now 5v6. You just have to be alive. Like, being alive is more important on defense than getting kills. Your Junkrat gets a good tire here though, and you hit a headshot. Nice. And now it's okay to push up because they're 3 down, but don't go chasing. Like, you don't want to ever be put in a position where that Tracer can kill you. And since he knows you don't have flashbang, he just comes in for free. Yeah, I upload all of my Vods to YouTube. Don't worry, he'll see this later. It's on Twitch anyway too, if he wants to see it. So like, you're playing very defensively here. I don't know what you're afraid of. I probably would have even rolled in there and flashbanged. I'll rewind a little bit because I'm not sure what the thought process was. Like right here, the Tracer's dead. So right there, they're down one of their DPS players. So like, you should be abusing that. Like, now is the time for you guys you can be a little bit more aggressive here, especially because the Tracer's dead. Like, the Tracer's probably the scariest hero for you to fight. I mean, obviously McCree is good against Tracer, but like right there, you roll backwards. The Reinhardt shield's already broken, and the Zarya's not postured in a position to kill you. So like, first of all, you're like wasting your roll. You're not breaking the shield. Like, your effective damage against the shield is low, and you just watch the Zarya bubble burn out. So this Reinhardt's actually bone. Like, the red Reinhardt, the offensive Reinhardt, should be dead right now. Like, you could have easily just walked up, flashbanged him, and then right-clicked, and then roll right-clicked. And there wouldn't have been much counterplay. Your team's positioned pretty well. I don't know where your healers are. They might have died. I don't think they're dead, though. But point being that I think you could have just gotten this kill for free, because he's in that weird zone. Like, he's in that arch. Like, that arch is where you can push up and push back, and you have your Reinhardt there. So even if, like, I still don't even agree with the roll. If you're not going to go for the flashbang, you should just be spamming your right click on this Reinhardt shield. Or at the very least, just like unloading into it. Because your effective damage right now is really low. But I feel like you could have easily punished that Reinhardt. Especially because you have the Zenyatta. Like, if you flashbanged, your Zenyatta could have discorded, and then you would have just had a free kill, I think. But this is good. Just keep spamming left clicks and right clicks. Something's above you. That's nice shots. You guys should be in a good spot now for this fight. Take your time with your shots. That's a good play. Good that you kept your flash. You didn't really need to use the flash there. I don't know, if anyone has questions in chat, just ask them, because I'm like reading chat, but sometimes I run out of things to say. But you know that the Mercy has res now, so you should probably try to save your High Noon for that, just like as a worst case scenario. And positionally, I don't know why you're holding this right corner. I think that this right corner is a little bit less easy to hold. Like, you're backing out in this direction. I would honestly prefer you to back out in this direction. I guess there's a few reasons for that. Like, you're backing out this way. I would say back out this way. Because, like, if you back out this way onto the right, your healers are this direction, so, like, they don't have line of sight to you. And the enemy team is actually positioned in such a way that they're coming from this corner. So you want like the angle, right? You want this angle, like this corner. I talked about corners in like the other video, but you want this corner to be your spot. Like, you want to abuse this, not this. Because your line of sight here, half of it's useless, right? Like, you can see here, and you can see like straight this way. And maybe like the stuff in front of you. But if you back out this way, you're on an island. Like, your team isn't really watching, and you don't have the best vision of like when they're going to push in. So the fact that you backed out to the right is actually why this charge goes off. Because you could have easily stopped this charge with your flashbang if you had been to the left. And you would have had a better idea of when the charge was coming if you had been to the left. So, like, you lose vision here. See? You, like, just straight up lost vision. because you backed out to the right so much. And now, like, your team is all here, and now you're just kind of isolated. And now you don't really actually know if anyone's coming through the choke. And you really want to know if someone's coming through the choke. So this flash, I don't know if you knew that this charge was coming, but you should have the mental, like, understanding or just, like, the mental ability to say, okay, I can roll and flashbang this. Like, even now, I think you have time to hit shift and E and just flashbang this. This is something that I think comes down to just being in the mentality of your hero. Some people have a hard time doing it. You'll see Mzez, like, forget that they can wall people off or, like, not use Zarya bubbles sometimes because they, like, aren't used to playing Zarya. But stuff like this, this is a play for you to make. Like, this is your play right here. Like, go save this Reinhardt because you have the ability to and you want to. Like, using charges or using flashbangs to cancel charges is very annoying. But you're not even in a position right now to punish the Reinhardt either, because, like, look at the way you have to walk now. Like, you can't go back the way you came because the choke is open, and now, like, the choke is just, like, your team is just getting rolled now. That's a good shot. But you see, like, they all just came in, but if you had instantly killed that Reinhardt, this Reinhardt actually should be dead. Like, I think that this fight evolves in a different way. Even there, you just let the Reinhardt pass you again. Like, be cognizant of the Reinhardt. You don't need to kill anything else. Just, like, you and the Reinhardt need to, like, you should have been able to stop that. You definitely should have been fine. This kid's aim is crazy. Yeah, he's hitting his shots. But you see here, like, you're mentally AFK here for a second, and it gets your Reinhardt boned, and it winds up getting you boned. You could have canceled this. Like, if you minimize your mistakes, you'll win more games. Does that make sense? I mean, obviously it makes sense, but, like, if you minimize your mistakes, you could have potentially stopped this push from happening just by using your flashbang twice. Like, you have to make the most out of the hero, I guess. I also would have preferred for you to go for some high ground or just get in a position where you can high noon, because you've been sitting on this high noon forever. And, I mean, that goes back to you backing out to the right instead of the left. Because I think if you're on the left, you could have high noon when they push the choke. But right now, I wouldn't fight down here. I'd probably go upstairs. Because this isn't the safest spot. And it's not even really the best angle. Like, you still have this wall in front of you. Like, you could be taking these pot shots. That's a nice shot, too. So, I mean, it was definitely good. But I would say you want to be up on the roof just because it gives you a better vantage point. Shots, good shots. Like, even right now, you could be high nooning from the roof, and the game, you're hitting your shots actually. But you could have been on the roof there and just high nooned while they were up, like, from upstairs. Like, one thing that I think people forget to do too is, like, if you have your ult, like, try to find a way to use it. You know, like, if you don't use the ult or abuse it, you're not really making the most of your hero. You could have been on the roof right now, shutting down the tracer. You could have been on the roof, like, high nooning. You might not have killed the Mercy, but, like, do you really care about the Mercy as the McCree on this map? And on this stage, I guess, right? Like, if you're on the roof and they res, you can just high noon and cancel the res. Like, just nullify the res with the high noon. So I would say, like, you need to put yourself in a better position here. Like, this tracer shouldn't be able to get the drop on you. Like, even now, I'd say just go get the roof. Or, like, start putting yourself in a spot to high noon from. And yeah, I agree. Kahuna, like, you're not using tab a lot. Like, just, tab is, like, the most broken thing in this game, to be honest with you. If you want to get good at this game, just hit the tab key all the time. You're, like, your aim is actually really good. Like, you're hitting your shots. Like, you're hitting your headshots, you're flashbanging the McCree or the Tracer. You're killing the Tracer. Like, you're consistently putting out damage. But work on your, just, like, your meta in some ways. Like, abuse your hero more. Because with aim like this, you should just be able to climb pretty quick, actually. But even now, you could still be on the roof doing most of the damage that you're doing. He has crosshair on the floor every time he's not shooting. Is that true? I don't really notice crosshair placement. Yeah, maybe you do tilt down a little bit. I don't know. Some people aim like that though. Like it's like a reset. Some people reset their aim. Like if you're on the high ground here, as soon as you wipe them on that team fight, just go for the high ground. Like none of their heroes can even really kill you. Like they don't have a Genji, I don't think. They don't have a Tracer, but you're not hitting tab enough. Like if you actually hit tab a lot, you'll learn more. Like you'll get a better understanding of the game. Because you'll hit tab and you'll say to yourself, how do they kill me on the roof? And if they don't have any heroes to kill you on the roof, you just go to the roof. And then like they have to come get you because you'll just sit up there shooting pot shots and like hitting high noon. And if someone has to dedicate themselves to go kill you and it's like a Tracer and you win that 1v1, which like it seems like you're winning the 1v1 with the Tracer at least. Then like that's just an extra hero that you don't have to, that your team doesn't have to worry about. And it's just an extra thing for you to worry about. Like just worry about your aim in some way. Or not your aim, just worry about your positioning.
Like freaking Reaper just goes straight for me. Oh.
Well, I mean, you're dangerous and you know it.
I know, but
Like you probably could have stopped this entire push with a good high noon from the roof. I don't feel like his aiming at the floor is super a lot. I mean, some people flick. If you're not a tracker, I would say that it's not the biggest deal because some people are so used to flicking. Like he's pretty flick heavy, and that's just his style of aim. I mean, I agree you don't really want your crosshair on the ground, but if you need that long range of motion, then you should be doing it, I guess. You should have died against, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just, like, your positioning, you just need to be back more, especially there. Like, once that point's lost, if you're not behind the Reinhardt, you shouldn't be that far up. Because Zarya could have easily killed you, but you still get punished here. And you probably didn't even need to die to that Reaper if you were just a little bit farther back. Like right now you're playing McCree, just try to get the high ground. Go get up on that ledge. Like you're wasting your time here, to be honest. This is like a map knowledge thing, but like you have this ult. Just like go try to find a spot to use it, and there's like this ledge up here. Like you can just walk to the right. Like they don't have, this is still a decent distance. Like half your team just died, so you're pretty much alone now. You don't want to be visible. Like if you're visible, they're just gonna see you and kill you. So I would just be trying to hide or like sneak up here until your team spawns, so you can try to get the high noon off.
yeah, so they're just Mercy is just freaking hiding.
Yeah, she's hiding and fighting everybody instantly. Really.
Like even now, still, like you need to find a way to get this high noon off. Like you need this high noon to work. And you won't get earth shattered there or stunned or whatever if you're up top. You still get the kill on the Reaper, so it's not that, I mean, it's not good, you know? I mean, he flicks. It's hard for me to know. With the vision, this guy's in diamond. Like, your aim's actually really good, but your positioning's pretty questionable. This is good. So like this is a good spot for you to be because they have to commit to get to you. But even now, like as soon as you got that ult or you got close, you should be worrying. That was so lucky actually that you kill that Tracer. You just need to get high ground, man. Like if you just get high ground all the time, you'll be fine. And like I don't know, your aim is actually on point. I don't disagree that you do look at the ground, but I don't know how much of a big deal it is. Like, I mean, I don't notice you staring at the ground too much, but such is life.
Yeah, it's alright. I'll deal with her first.
I just feel like you're not abusing the ult. Like, the ult is so strong, like, you should just be trying to use it. Find a place to use it. Like, it doesn't have to be... You don't always have to get off, like, the greatest ults, But you want to abuse your ult on defense when it's on cooldown as much as possible, especially as a McCree, because your McCree's not really
We already have a range.
like
That's me.
Yeah.
McCree ult isn't something that you care about, you know? Like you get a good one off, and it's if you get like 2 kills, that's a really good high noon, right? So like you actually are hitting so many shots that your ratio of like high noons to shots hit is so low. Because I think you get like, I don't know what it is. I think it's like 8% per body shot or something. When you hit a body shot as high noon with McCree rather. So yeah, you should be using high noons a lot more. Like every time you have it, try to find a way to use it, even if it's just to slow down the enemy team's push.
If you're Korean, we win.
No, not if I was raised in NA. That means I'm an NA.
Oh, that means you're like,
Now you're on offense. You guys defended, which is okay. I mean, it's hard to tap that map, so their push is actually really good. Unless your offense is better, then you're gonna have a hard time.
oh, they have a player loss.
I'll take it.
G boys.
No, I don't like these games because free elo, but it's like 2. It's
They changed
pretty bad,
it.
man.
Changed it.
Well, I mean, last
Dying
time I got.
Crusade.
Yeah, I mean, forget his aim for a second. Like, I can't help his aim, you know? Like, I don't have control over his mouse or what he's shooting at. Like,
Ready on their
giving the advice of, like, aim better or aim differently isn't really the point, I guess. Like, let's assume everyone's aim is good.
I'll take the win over
Like, I don't have a problem with the way he's aiming. I mean, it's 5v6 right now, so I don't know how this VOD's going to turn out if that guy comes back or not. Like, this is good. Just keep spamming the shield down. Keep spamming the shield down. Like, this is good. Take your time with that flashbang because you wouldn't have saved the Reinhardt, but you might have been able to kill the Mei. There's like no fire, you know?
God damn it, they're down 1.
Like now you just have to stay alive, stay alive.
We can walk in on them.
They're not punishing you, which I feel like they could be punishing you a lot harder. Because your Reinhardt's dead, like you guys should be just taking a lot of damage, and now they're punishing the rope.
Yeah, they just raped me.
No, it's all good, muted. Yeah, like, I don't know, you could probably have killed that Mei. This is just something I want to say in general. If you're up against a Mei, I don't know what the word is. It's hard to get kills with flashbang at range against like heroes with 250 HP if you're not A, directly on top of them, or B, they didn't take damage yet. So like if a full health Mei is like in front of you, it's generally better to take a body shot, then flashbang, then right click, because you want to burst the Mei before she has a chance to get into the ice block. You don't really want to put yourself in a position where you miss the kill because she gets the ice block off. So even though you got good damage, I feel like you could have potentially killed her in that last push.
Not okay, not okay.
There we go. That's a good res.
Oh, dude, look, lovely.
Now you guys are fine, but you're probably about to get blizzarded. I would assume you're about to get blizzarded. There it is. This is a problem with McCree though. Like, you have to make. You shouldn't be. I don't know. Your team can't res here. Your positioning is not that bad. You're playing against the Mei though, so you guys need something else. Like, it's not. There's not really much you can do here. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, you have to wait for your team to do something because you're never gonna really do much with the high noon on this map. At least on this stage, I would say. Like, I don't. Like, I agree that you. Like, I don't know that there's much you can do with the. Help your Reinhardt though. Like, you should be. You should have gotten that kill. Like, this Reinhardt shouldn't even be alive right now. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Mei should always die first. If you see a man in the enemy team, like, just get rid of the tilt immediately. Kill her. So now your team pushed through. I don't think that you can really contribute much. Like, you got your kills. You could have maybe gotten a kill or two on the Mei earlier. But from just a gameplay standpoint, I think that the Genji saved you guys, and that's good.
I'm so salted.
Salted? Not salted, salted.
Standing is better than right-clicking. Sometimes. Against some heroes it is, but some heroes you need the burst from the right-click, I think. Like, getting headshot right-click against Mei isn't consistent. Like it's not, I don't think it's as much damage as getting a full right click. So I think right click against Mei is better than right click against, like, I mean Tracer you don't want to right click, but I think Mei and Reaper it's not a bad idea. Even McCree, it depends on your distance. You should have canceled that high noon as soon as the blizzard went off, because you were gonna die anyway.
Oh, Genji, nobody saw
That or your Zenyatta. I don't know if you have Transcendence, but it doesn't look like it. But even now, I would say you should just be trying to get up top. Like, you guys need to control the roof. On this map specifically, you should... Emily says headshot, headshot, no fan. I don't think you can headshot in the stun duration. Like, Mei will get the ice block off. So I'm not... I don't... Is that true? I don't think that you can double headshot against a Mei. Like, I don't think you have time to headshot in a stun duration. I think Mei will get back in the block. This is good though. You're on the cart. On the cart. You can. You can't. I don't think you can. I think I would. I feel like you would do it more, or I would even do it more. Right now, just go try to get flashbang kills. It's like that's okay. I don't mind headshotting the Lucio. Or I like heroes that don't have escapes. I agree, go for the headshot. But heroes that have escapes like Mei, Reaper, Zarya, I think you should just go for the right click. I mean, not Zarya. Zarya's screwed anyway. Leroy Jenkins, thanks for the sub, dude. That's a good high. See, like you get the high ground, you get the triple kill. You were on the floor there. Maybe you don't see those people in the back. Leroy Jenkins. This offense is pretty much a roll now, though. But even here, like, your effect, I don't know. You were going to lose that fight no matter what, so it's probably not the biggest deal. Black hole into Blizzard is pretty dangerous.
Yeah, they literally do Ana ult, Mei ult, Zarya ult, McCree ult.
They have 6 on commercial? Nice.
Yeah, I think they only have res.
You should just try to burn the wall here. There's no reason not to. I mean... I feel like you should just be like, whenever you see Mei wall, I feel like not enough people shoot it. Like, I like the flashbang there. I don't know. I'm not a fan of, well, that Reinhardt missed you? Oh my god.
What? How is Zarya still alive this whole time?
I don't even know, dude. I'm so salty.
You can't die here. You really need to not die here. You could even go for the high noon here from the stairs. Yeah, that's good.
Ana was healing her like the whole time.
Wait for your team though, you're gonna get farmed. They have, whenever they have, what's it called? Whenever they have sleep dart, you really can't go for high noons either.
Yeah, Mei wall's just gonna
Mei here. He's not set up yet. We can go. We can go.
I'm waiting for a hook. We don't.
This guy should be a Masters? Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, he could have already have won the game if he had positioned himself better in the defense. His defensive positioning, I think, was the problem. You forced out, you traded high noon for res, which is really good. You should be trying to find the health pack, though. There's a health pack on the right. I think you should just be going for that. Not the biggest of problems, though. Your hand was kind of forced there. I mean, I don't know that you could have rolled any other way and lived. So, whatever. But yeah, just keep going high ground, dude. Play McCree, go high ground, because you're hitting a lot of shots.
We need a Zarya. We're just not killing.
Come on, guy.
48 limbs in 1 round of Eichenwalde. That's a lot, man.
Group up, don't go in.
Dude, you can solo queue to Masters for sure, without any problem, if your decision making is good. There's no way... like, anyone who's like truly a Masters player should definitely be able to solo queue to Masters, in my opinion. Stay on the high ground, stay on the high ground. Use that wall. Do you guys finish here? The high noon's forever. You got gifted a kill right there.
I'm staying on it until I die.
Yeah, they're freaking. Get on the point, dude.
You
Oh
really
my
can't. No,
god.
he was stunned.
Your teammates are like flaming you.
Running.
Alright, finishing this map is hard, but I feel like you could have won on defense. I feel like your defense should have been better. I feel like you for sure should have been able to stop them on the second point and possibly even the first point if you actually had better positioning. Like, your aim's really good, and yeah, they're yelling at you for not getting on the cart, like as if you're gonna save the cart there. But if your positioning was better on defense, you would have been fine. Like, you would have won this game if all you changed was your positioning on defense. I'm fairly certain. So that's, I guess, the takeaway from this VOD is positioning is very important. Like, this guy's aim is pretty good. I'll go back like a couple frames to see. I think when he respawns, he hits tab. So I want to see what his aim was when he respawns. So 59, 60% accuracy on McCree is pretty good. I mean, it's very good. I mean, it gets buffed from shields and stuff, but 60% accuracy is pretty nice. So if you're hitting 60% of your shots, which is like what, 2/3 of your clip, which is like every 6 bullets you hit 4, roughly, maybe a little bit more, like somewhere between 3 and 4. Like, you should be winning games, right? Like, that's a fair statement. But you could have the best aim in the world. If your positioning is bad, you'll just die. Some of your deaths, like you have 10 deaths, I would say that you could have cut this down to like maybe 5 if you had just played the high ground more. And like those 5 deaths might have resulted in better defense or just better pushes. So that's all I think I have as far as takeaways from this. So I don't know. Work on your positioning, and I would say you'll be in a better situation overall. And try to use your ult more. Like, you have to get your ult off. Just be aware of what can cancel your ult. So like in this lineup, the only thing that'll cancel your ult is like a sleep dart, an earth shatter, and like a flashbang. So try to stay out of line of sight or to bait out or wait for the Ana sleep dart to go off so you can get it off. But that's all I have for this VOD, I would say. Unless you guys have any questions in chat. Like, I don't really see much else to talk about here. Your aim is good, so I guess keep that up. But I feel like for 48 limbs, you should have probably gotten more Deadeyes off, for sure. You do VODs for plats? Dude, I'll do VODs for anything. So, yeah, I don't know. Work on your positioning, you'll win more games. Like, 100% you'll win more games. You could have potentially just changed your positioning and won this game. Like, just you changing your positioning would have had a huge impact on the outcome of this game. And I mean, every loss in ranked hurts because it takes you like another win to get your MMR back, sometimes 2. And then it takes you like another thing to go MMR up. So winning a game or losing a game sets you back 3 games, or yeah, 3 games potentially. Like, what you could have done in 1 game, it now takes you 3. So that's the real problem with climbing, and you need to minimize these mistakes so you can get higher. Got it?